All right, interesting that there's no bull zone above open. Yeah, right. It's just basically monthly expiration, so be very careful what we see today. Reses are positive, so it looks like we are likely to support here. There is no bull zone above, so it's interesting to see for SPY. You treat that like a mean reversion, so you'll be very careful on that, not having any large breakout potential. It looks like QQQ is very similar today. All right, so everything's looking similar. All right. It's a monthly expiration, so we're going to have a little bit of craziness, probably. Breaking hedge pressure can be a big deal, so IWM is the first to do so. Keep an eye on resilience. And Nasdaq losing the steam today, so this might be a little bit of a maybe initial downside with upside to boot. I personally want to be shorting this myself, unless I get signals to do so. Not getting a lot of strength out the door. DD 0.9. Yeah, so we're still sitting there pretty okay, but we don't have a bull zone, right? So SPY is not identified a bull zone. So let's double check, right? That's interesting to see, right? Let's zoom out and see if we can't force something. Give some answers. So yeah. Interesting to see that. Monthly expiration. Oops. Yeah. Down with Powell speaks, then we go up. Probably so. Let me go forward. Let's talk about the... Why is my computer very quiet today? Can I hear the music? I can't hear a damn thing. Oh, there it is. And it's gonna be at 10 o'clock. We have monthly expiration date. Okay. Res pulling back to being negative, so looks like we might actually have some downside today. Just the open. I don't really have a pivot to short off of. Let's take a look. We make sure this resilience is pulled back. Bring us down through at least to interact with hedge pressure, monthly hedge. Yeah, plus monthly expiration, pretty scary. No upside target here. Let's go here and look for some gaps, right? Some past historic gaps to look at. Days like this are likely to close. Doji or spinning top in a way. A lot of travel, just not a lot of not a lot of bias. There's not really a strong bull zone coming through. I'd say today is probably likely a short setup. I don't know where this line came from, but let's go ahead and mark out some of these. I'm gonna move that on accident. All right, there's a gap fill in the SPY. So basically a relaxation day over the last two run-up days, but still bullish at the end of the day. Not sure if we filled this one or not. Let's double check. Just marking gaps for upside targets. Raise. Make sure you smash that old like button there. Get started. What do y'all think? My SPY chart frozen? No? It's good. Gap fill is a previous day when the market closes and then gaps up or gaps down into the next day. So an example where my mouse is here. We traded up and then the next morning the S&P opens right here, the opening print. So anytime you move to a different place than the previous close, it's going to gap every day for the most part. And then so if you trade back up and return to that gap or return to that close, then you fill the gap. If the gaps are unfilled, there's a sell imbalance there. And you can do them on both sides. An example is here, we traded down and then we jump down here and have never returned to that spot. The closing price when there's an existing gap is always one of the strongest pivots you can find, especially when trading, swing trading, day trading. So having them marked allows me to know, okay, we've got a potential upside target somewhere, which for some reason, let me refresh. It's let's edit this. So to remember that level was there. 42258. Okay. Which is weird because I don't see it now on this time frame. Here we go. Just gonna mark it exactly on the nose there. There we go. So any upside move would clean its way or clear its way forward through the gap. There really is no bullish pressure as the algorithm is finding. So even though we've kind of gapped way up into bear territory, there is likely some support through here. So I would say that as long as resilience stays positive, we are supporting half gap just like you see, but be careful, IWM hedge break to the downside. Could deteriorate the market today. So no doubt about that. Any short side target ends about 419, give or take. Any break of monthly hedge pressure would be devastating for the market as well. Let's go ahead and analyze the sectors and see what we got going on over there. Nice little split here. Real estate down a little bit, staples down, tech up. Okay. Double checking BLD on the tech side. All right, let's take a look at that. BLD has that U-shaped pressure below monthly hedge pressure, and then a break of monthly hedge pressure is good. So we're actually trading above it. So if you look at the leading sector today, tech, that setup does indicate that there is support as well. Get my pencil here. There is support if we do fall below the open. So anything that's trading right here continues to push higher. Let's see if we can find any gap fills there, if there are any that apply, because that is the leading sector. I like to try to find any leading sector that has a near side resistance just to kind of have an exit target. We are currently trading right about here. Have we filled that gap yet? Double check. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did prior. estimate where those are really quick. So you're going to find resistance targets just to see, things running the most this morning. And we'll do the same thing with communications. We're retrading right now. All right, so there is an immediate resistance there. Get to the XLC really quick. And then we'll analyze, some of the stocks in those sectors as well, just to kind of see what we have. So always being prepared to know, like, if your leading sector is going to hit a resistance, want to watch it. XLC, bump it into that as well right there. Easy to see that one. And I'll come back and double check those later. But basically about right there. So about another buck, maybe about 60%, 0.6% up on the XLC. Double checking some of the stocks that we're going to look for in there, right? You can look at these: index weight, Meta, Google, Netflix, obviously, Apple, Microsoft, and tech, and consumer discretionary, which is the XLY. Let's look at Apple real quick. Just double check some of the big dogs. BLD, similar setup, except for Apple's trading below monthly hedge pressure, and we are on monthly expiration as well. BLD, again, U-shaped, bullish side. Any breakup through hedge pressure monthly is a big deal. So keep Apple on your watch list today, 176.25, as it's going to be one of the ones that could move and push the stock. Microsoft is that classic example of the BLD where you open, gold, open. That is that setup that you normally see. So BLD, open, gold, open. This is that setup number one right there. So any breakup above the open, again, it's going to be a push to the upside. Google and some consumer discretionary, CBLD, same thing. Any support, that you do see off of monthly hedge pressure. Good morning, team. Love y'all. How y'all doing today? I'm gonna wait this one out till Powell starts talking and then start doing stuff. Energy up, tech up. Disney just losing its monthly hedge. I didn't want to run a monthly on Disney. We talked about that as one of the examples the other day. Right. Disney's got strengthening bull side, had their earnings dropped out. Strengthening bull side. And I felt like I spent like $5,000 at Disney when I went. I can't believe that didn't show up in the balance sheet. Disney didn't start rallying. Wait, when the gap is a market's trade overnight and leave a gap open. Every day there's a gap. Either the open price is always different than the previous day's close price. Always. If you return to the previous day's close price, you fill that imbalance if you think about it like that. You return the same price, the gap is filled, and it's not really used again as a resistance. Going through training, trying to understand the bull and bear zone in reverse like they are today in SPY. That's called illiquidity. Now, in the area that you are right now, when you are in this specific setup is not normally what you see. There's not a liquidity map for it. It's considered middle reverting. So middle reverting to the idea that you just have support off of the top of that bear zone. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You don't have a bull zone to operate in, like with SPY. So you basically treat it like this. You have the bull zone is at infinity because there isn't one, and the bear zone is 419. So essentially, just like a mean reversion trade, the bear zone supports to the middle up here in the bull zone. Well, infinity is infinity, so the middle also equals infinity. So there is no upside, there is no particular exit point to here. You have to find another resistance. Think about it as a mean reversion missing the other half. So the market has no resistance, like zero resistance. We don't call it bullish because there isn't a discernible bull zone. But the upside is just like you'd see mean reversion, you would just assume the middle. So we present it that way instead of presenting it bullish, such that you know that you're just looking for some kind of resistance. Sometimes the open, or anything that you see. Gap fill in this example, that forward, the gap fill that I had was basically the next stop, or DD band. Oh yeah, the fight between DeSantis and Disney. Yeah, like what caused all of that? Some kind of political disagreement, and like he's trying to cock block Disney from building, and they pulled back a $1 billion. Was it a $1 billion office deal that was going to relocate 2,000 jobs from California to Florida? Like, power trip politician, I think, is what they said. Or Disney. Well, I don't know. Everyone just gets so personal when it comes to politics. Like, just everyone needs, like, you should have your opinions and not wind them up with your business. You know, there's certain like things you just don't want to do. Like, if you're a smart businessman, I've seen people all the time, like on Twitter, just saying right things. I don't know if you've read the source code, right? When they had that release from Elon for Twitter, there are certain keywords that if you just say one thing, like if you tweet one thing. Now again, the list wasn't there, but it says like that they automatically like put you on a list. And so that Twitter doesn't show your tweets on people's feeds if you're just the kind of person that tweets a certain thing, like, you know, political or conspiracy comments. Certain things you say, you're just, you know, like why limit yourself by letting other people know? Just have your opinions and just be like whatever. But it gets all messy. Yeah, so DD being 0.86, there is no bull zone to interact with, which is an interesting thing. So in this environment, it's just, we consider it mean reversion, which does mean that I'm expecting it to support on the bear zone to go towards the bull zone because DD is bullish. There is no bull zone, so essentially it could bounce infinitely to wherever, right? To whatever next resistance we have, which typically we use yellow line, or if you're outside of the DD bands, or DD bands if you're inside of them. It's pretty simple. So upside potential is upper band before lower band. So any downside, remember the DD float likely keeps us going. Any upside goes to this upper band. This is the yellow, we call yellow line resistance. It's been here all morning. So any rejection here will fall to that bear zone and likely support. So there's a V shape right in there, a nice little scalp. Like I might want to buy that dip on that bear zone just to bet that we float and go higher. So I think today, particularly, it's going to push to here, maybe there, maybe higher. IWM hedge break, not the best thing in the world. This needs to rescue itself. Resiliences are still positive, so I'm not ready to fight this or short this just yet. I don't like anything on the short side. It would be a gamble to take a short. Obviously, there's no resistance to short from. SPY is clearly holding the top side of the redistribution zone, which is what we call mode 1 resilience now. Again, with hedge break, you might have a delayed signal, so you're going to have to kind of give it a little bit of extra fat. So 26, 29, still pretty strong for upside. So give me 1 second. I think my platform, let me reboot everything here real quick. There we go. Powell speaking 1 hour, no pecs. You're going to sit out today? Yeah, probably good. They changed their tax basis. Yeah, they're punching bag for his political agenda. People like about. Everybody always does, right? It like always makes you. It just gives you a spotlight if you're stirring up stuff. How to see the sector under the SPY? Mark Green? I don't know what you're asking. SPY has no sector. The sector lists, I have a website that I have. I just go to the sector spider website. website. Just Google Spider ETF. SPYER. It's a political disagreement. Disney challenging on a bill, and then DeSantis uses a tipping point, removing an old given right to Disney where they didn't have to pay taxes. Oh, now they're being Oh. That's what it was. Don't mess with my Disney. Disney's my favorite company. I'm like a huge Disney World fan. Yeah, I went there 3 weeks ago. Oh, I had a great time. Always have a good time at Disney. I'm telling you, like, Universal has not. I like Universal. Its newer attractions are great. Universal's older attractions just haven't aged well. Like, the funny thing, if you ever go to Universal Studios, like, let me tell you, you have 3 different kinds of rides there. Number 1 is a really awesome roller coaster, right? Like, just a kick-ass roller coaster that's gonna, like, make you throw up. Ride number 2 is like an experience where the line is better than the ride, like, you know, Escape from Gringotts or any Harry Potter rides. Like, the rides are good, but the waiting in line is much better than the ride itself. 80% of the rest of Universal Studios is, okay, you're the hero, get in a car. Oh, someone's chasing us. Oh, there's a bad guy. Okay, spray with water. Okay. Oh, you helped solve the problem. Yay. Now you're back to where you started. Let's go. And you're in a car that drives you to a movie screen, and then it drives to another movie screen, and it drives to another movie screen. And they look like CRT level pixel from, like, it's like going to 90s arcade and playing Mortal Kombat. Like, you can just see how cartoony everything looks. Like the Fast and Furious ride. CGI Vin Diesel just doesn't age well. Just doesn't. All of those rides are just exactly the same ride with just a different movie you're watching in 3D. But their newer stuff is great. So I'm saying they need to push, like Disney's pushing like new stuff. I literally went all the way to Disney World to ride the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. And literally my whole motivation was I'm gonna plan a trip around this ride. And I ended up not getting to ride it because we didn't book. You have to some of the rides you have to reserve your place in line, like at the beginning of the day. And so we did park hopper. So like if you go to like Disney, right, you can get park hopper passes. You buy one pass and then you can hop to any other park at the end of the day. So the Disney app lets you reserve for the park that you're assigned to at the start of the day. So we had Epcot at the end of the day because we're dumb. And so would it let us like pre-book? And by the time we went to Epcot, it was already sold out. And we were like, fuck. So we're going to buy a day pass just to go to Epcot, just to ride that ride. Instead, we drank tequila and laid by the pool. But it means I got to go back to ride Guardians. And I remember next time I'm going to put Epcot as my reservation park. Epcot's gotten pretty good, like over the years. The rides there are pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the market to pull back. Powell's going to talk. I'm going to probably see if I can't find myself an entry point there. I'd like to see the market pull back. Just a little bit. Resilience still holding, but right at 0. So we could have some downside today. So now align Disney to other companies. So now Disney mad and they want to get more taxed. Yeah, I remember seeing. So it was so it was a political disagreement on challenging some kind of a bill. Okay, gotcha. I didn't read all the details about it, but I remember reading about Disney's latest move was pulling the project out. Okay. So you know when you use the pop-up function of the res indicator, it stops taking updating in the new window. It does that for me too. That was something that we did fix, but let me look at whatever browser that you have. I'll have a note for that. It's actually doing it for me now as well. We'll have them fix that and put in a note really quick. Yeah, it was working up until last patch. Okay, I'm gonna put in a ticket for that real quick. Yeah, somehow it detached as well, so not really sure. Like the graph is there, but the numbers don't update. Okay, so still kind of a long setup from here, but there is just no upside till about that 422 and some change gap fill. We'll check Apple really quick. I'm gonna keep Apple front and center today. Looking for upside breaks. I'm gonna say we're getting gap fills on Apple. That's it right there. Oh, it's blue. Okay, let me make it white so I can see it better. Market's trying to find some downside, and Qs are starting to pull back kind of a little bit. Let's go ahead and go to the scanner. Let me show you guys how to do this. We're going to go to and look for, as resilience is starting to deteriorate, let's look for half gap breakdowns and illiquidity pockets together. Looking right there, not too many of those. Okay, let's just look for HP break. Trisha break. Not too many of those just yet. Things are holding tight. Okay. I'm just looking at the bottom of my screen. I think we do pull back a little bit today. Palan's here. Hedge pressure support there, so that's pulling back Meta, Mara, Uber, PayPal. Pretty decent amount of stocks, about 70 tickers or so breaking through half gap to the downside. Let's look at a half gap breakup, just to kind of analyze what's going on there. About 35 tickers have opened below and broken above. So break up and break down is the condition that you gapped up and are trading down. Break down is break up is if you gapped down and are trading up. So you can see there's a pretty big discrepancy of how many of the 35 are in the breakup situation and about, was it 70 or so are in the breakdown situation. So that is starting to deteriorate hedge pressure a little bit. This might be a little bit of a downside day today for some of these things. I like what I see. You just have to refresh a couple times a day. Yeah, I still have to every once in a while as well. Like I said, one of the things is that, and we admit it because we're blasting through at rocket speed, right? It's like our projects is piling on top of each other. We can't expand and hire people fast enough to meet our needs. We're growing so fast. We get 10 to 20 new users a day. And so we are just growing so fast that we're building fast. So there's a time when we're going to stop and nothing's going to update on y'all's end that you'll see for about a month or so. And we're going to go back and optimize everything. We have this whole optimization project that we've been planning. The problem is that every time we get ready to start something on it, a new big project kicks off. So now it's like we have the server migration, historic data, vendor marketplace, futures trading, stock trading, all about to go on in parallel. So with all that being said, yeah, we still have like optimization and scaling things that we're going to work on. Once we get the major things done, like once you can trade, by the end of this month, I should have working futures data on the test server. So that's like in 2 weeks. By the end of next month, we should be able to have futures trading and stock trading at the same time. We're going to run this project in parallel. Stock trading thing's such an easy flip if I get this one thing working out. And that'll open up brokerages, any broker you can name. We've got pretty much all of them, including Trade-A-Bait and NinjaTrader, believe it or not. So they still have an API that's accessible, and we figure out a way to access it. So we'll be, that's the one thing we were like, I was like, oh, we're not gonna be able to connect. You can still send orders to Trade-A-Bait via webhook. So we figured that out, and you'll now be able to connect to pretty much any broker that accepts either a webhook or an API connection. So just letting you guys know, we figured out Trade-A-Bait too. So here we come. Here we come. God, we're gonna have, if everything goes right, we're gonna have pretty much anybody. TD, Interactive Brokers, TradeStation, E-Trade. Guys, name it. Name it. There now, again, it's not going to be like they're all going to work. Let's just say that. To get them all to work, it's going to be a process. It's to get them all to work exactly the way you want them to work. It's going to be a process. But as I say, you'll be able to push a button and send an order to your Trade-A-Bait account. That's for sure. But it'll be different than the other futures brokers. Like the other futures brokers are going to directly connect to your account and receive data from your broker and all that other stuff. Trade-A-Bait will be the exception to that. You won't be able, when you connect to your Trade-A-Bait account, you can only fire orders in and out. You're not going to be receiving any data from them. You're going to still have to have one of our brokerages to get you data feeds. But like I said, we'll have instructions for everything. I'm probably just going to switch brokers, to be honest. As much as I love Trade-A-Bait, I think I'm going to call it quits with them and choose one of our partner brokers. FCMs. What? Just thought of an idea to be able to expand the widgets to customize size within the right menu of Rocket Scooter, keeping them within the right column rather than open a new window. What do you mean, Quest? No. I'm talking about from a developer side. Like Trade-A-Bait has, they're great. It's sad. It's not that I want to. It's just since the merger with Ninja, they used to have a web API that developers could connect to. Like for instance, you could connect to your Trade-A-Bait account through TradingView. It's a legacy CQG API that went that they closed the doors on anybody developing around it after the merger. So you're either grandfathered in or you're SOL. Like you can sign up for a Trade-A-Bait account and then log into it through your inside of your TradingView environment, and then you got the data coming through. You got all the features that you would get with a third-party platform. Your data comes in, all the stuff from them connected to your account, all that good stuff. But they don't, since the merger, since they have a major focus is now the NinjaTrader platform is now they're like really heavy in the platform business. It's like they're not going to allow you to connect to their broker with a third-party platform. They're not going to assist their competitors, which makes sense in a business standpoint. But then what it does is if, they're trying to become the Apple of futures trading, where it's a one-stop shop, you have to buy your power cord from them. You can't use a regular USB cord. You know what I'm saying? It's like all things are internalized. It makes it hard for, not hard, it makes it impossible for developers to develop in their API, which it's their choice as a company, which is not a, it's their prerogative. I wish they would leave it open or open it back up. But since I want to just trade in my own platform, they're going to force me to find a new broker. And all of you as well, if you want to trade inside a Rocket Scooter. But we will have the connection to be able to send an order and like get an order confirmation, things like that. But it's like, you're not going to get your level 2 data from the data feed you buy at Trade-A-Bait. It won't feed the Rocket Scooter. But the other brokerages you can. Like you have a broker account with our partner broker, it'll open up the data feed. So you'll receive level 2 data, time and sales data, and it'll be just like connecting to that brokerage with their own platform. So like the idea with Tradeovate, it's literally going to be like a buy sell button, and that's it. Send an order, receive an order. But it'll at least work. Yeah. And again, like I said, Tradeovate's my favorite futures broker, hands down. Of all the ones I've used, hands down, the best. But more power to them. They're going a different way. So if they ever open it back up, and I'd love to give it a go. But until then, kind of would like to have I'd like to have Rocket Scooter full screen on my screen, as long as the commissions are acceptable. Oh yeah, the commissions are very, very acceptable. Who needs level? Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, who needs that experience, right? But people are going to look at it and be like, well, where's the DOM, right? Where's the level 2? Where's the data feed? So if you have a brokerage account with one broker, that's one of our partner brokers, you'll get your data feeds. If you have also an account with Tradeovate, you can send orders. We can have, as long as you've bought your data feeds from one broker, it will display your data feeds in Rocket Scooter. So by doing both, you essentially do both, and then it's all repaired. That's, I say, is like the workaround is that. So if you go through our partner broker and get your data feeds, you can route your orders anywhere you want to go, as long as you have the right, you pay your data feeds and have your brokerage account with 2 futures brokers, then it works, right? If you think about it. Sounds like you're opening up a Tradeovate account. No. The opposite. It's going to be much easier to... basically, we're building this right now. So we had a discussion last night. You're going to log into Rocket Scooter. You're going to authenticate. So we're going to do 2 things. A bunch of things. So right now we're doing... OAuth via Discord. So now we're deciding on how we want to do this, but ideally we're going to probably change where when you log into Rocket Scooter, you're logging in with your Discord account so that it ties Rocket Scooter to your Discord, such that you have automation and features connecting your platform to your user account to your Discord account all in one. So then, like, you don't have to like message for roles, or if you update your package, it'll update your roles for you automatically. And then that opens the door for, you know, if you're Pro Plus and that subscribes to a certain kind of alert from the platform, and you have futures data, for instance, then the bot can actually send you DMs. Hey, by the way, DD Band broke on S&P. It can set up all nice, neat things that you don't have to have the Rocket Scooter platform even open, that the Discord bot will start messaging you the things you want it to do. You program your alerts. You can say, text it to me, that kind of stuff. So the idea that when you go, you know how when you go to websites and it's like log in with Facebook, log in with Instagram, whatever, and or log in with Google and they have nothing to do with Google. That's what OAuth is. So we're gonna do like a login with Discord, such that your user account captures Discord information and ID, so that way we know who's who, and the bot can assign your roles. If you cancel, the bot can take your roles away. If you upgrade, the bot can give you new roles. The bot can connect your Rocket Scooter experience to your Discord, etc., etc., etc. So that's being worked on right now. We had a discussion last night of how we would ask people to log into Discord, and I might do it just overarchingly at the site level, at the very top, instead of like logging into Rocket Scooter and logging in again with Discord, which would force everybody into a Discord account, which is good, because then you won't have any stragglers. Even if you don't use Discord, you would still just create a Discord account that'd be your login with Rocket Scooter. Either way, that seems to be the easiest, I think. And the best part about that is nobody gets left behind. Like somebody a month later is like, oh, I never had those Discord roles. We're like, well, we never heard from you. Like there's an instruction. Oh, I didn't read the instruction. It told me to message y'all. You know what I mean? It's like, so the idea is you'll be prompted to log in with your Discord, or which would just be like a QR code, right? You likely put a QR code on the screen, take a picture of it with your phone. Your phone will authenticate you, and then you boom, you're in Rocket Scooter. Sign up for a package, then you're done. And the easiest part is that even if you don't use Discord, you still just that's still the same login you'd have for it if you didn't want to use it. So if you don't want to use Discord, you'd still have a Discord ID that's still capable in case you ever do log in the future. Then bam, you're never left behind. Immediately you log in, it gives you the roles, and then you're good. Forced compliance. Yeah, the question was, you know, what are we gonna do with? We have 4,000 people. What are we gonna do about the people that sign up? What about the people that are existing? Is everybody gonna have to go create new logins, etc.? How are we gonna do this? So to create like a rollout plan for that. But the neat thing is that now we'll have Discord tied into Roxy. We're working on that right now, as a matter of fact. Meeting on that last night as well. And so the question was, after we do that, how are we handling the futures logins? The idea that we're probably gonna do is a widget on the side that you log in, click a button, log in, and then it opens the connection to your futures broker, and then you're good. Then every future time you log into Rocket Scooter, you know, it just logs you back into your futures account. And we have to put in two-factor authentication since you're now connected to your brokerage accounts. Anytime you're dealing with money, it's always safe to have 2FA so that people don't, right? So like hackers and stuff, clearly. So we're gonna have to, all the meetings last night were about that whole flow. I know, you like the idea of like login through Discord? I mean, it's just like how many websites out there I've logged in through Google to sign up for something. Just use my Google account, and then it makes it pretty simple. So anytime you ever join somebody's paid Discord, for instance, like through a Patreon or something, or one of those paid Discord type things, you're doing the similar process. You're actually logging in through that portal with your Discord account. Then it connects the payment to your Discord and gives you access when you make payments. Same thing. We can't go buy one of those things off the shelf because it obviously doesn't connect to a trading platform. So we basically built our own from scratch. We've been working on it for a while. It's got a lot more flexibility. I like the idea of getting a message instead of a text message, like a Discord message, a DM or something. Or net everyone, like hedge pressure's broken on. Imagine if hedge pressure's broken, right? Hedge pressure breakdown, and Discord sends a net everyone message to a specific channel that's like alerts, and it's just a feed. Maybe you're at a meeting and so your phone's buzzing. You look at it, you go, crap, hedge pressure broke. You're not like having to stare at your platform all day. So the idea is to like simplify the experience and do a lot more at the bot than just logins. What a boring day. Nothing going on here. Waiting for Powell to start talking. Still looking pretty. Index divergence, clearly. Not enough to give me the red light, but IWM still in that hedge breakdown situation. So this is an exciting time to be a developer. With so many neat things coming in the pipeline, I'm super stoked. Also, I'm very sleep deprived because I'm back to like the old days of getting up at 2 in the morning and 1 in the morning and meeting with the development team again. Very fun. But it's a very complicated process, so we have to make sure that no balls get dropped. You get a nice balance of HP and MHP. Yeah, I don't think anything big is going to happen until Powell starts talking. Isn't that, I think, in 45 minutes? Let me double check. I'm exhausted, though. That was a pretty late. 3 stars. Then Powell speaks. I wonder what he's going to say. Bull market, bitches. That's what he's gonna say. And then Mike, Powell out, and he drops the mic. Storms off a stage. Honestly think the market's just waiting to see if he says anything good. And if not, then I think we might sell to hedge pressure. We're not, I mean, look, there is just no steam today on resilience. Like, it's not terrible, it's not great. IWM hedge break. Now again, when Powell starts talking, everything can snap back into place and we're fine. I just don't see anything too long to other than that that gap fill on SPY. Upside targets. QQQ had one as well, I believe. In the near vicinity. Let me double check. Okay, so that one's already been broken through. Oh, I thought I had the Q on here. Let me double check this. Let's revisit monthly maps while we're chilling here. 349 and some change. That's pretty far away. Now, take note. Oh yeah, the AI video with Powell. I've seen a handful of AI videos with Powell. I don't know which one I'm referring to, but monthly map. So keep in mind, monthly maps will change very drastically in theory starting Monday. So this is monthly expiration, right? So when we go into Monday, the monthly map will likely shift as everybody rolls out of these monthly expiring options. And look at this. Look at all this last minute positioning today. Look at today. It's all calls at this point, right? Look at all the people that rush in the calls. And that's exactly what we talk about in the monthly map class. Bull side strengthening, bear side weakening. And then today, clean just bull side across the board, right? Okay, so when we wake up Monday, things are going to shift around a little bit, especially like the near term week. So observing how things shift for the next month, it's basically like a month-to-month thing. And every single day they will move around a little bit, but the biggest move you see from one day to next is between Friday and Monday of the third Friday of the month. So in theory, as these large amounts of monthly options are expiring, people are going to be rolling risk into the new month. So the month-long outlook is going to be shifted. Maybe not the further out outlook, but at least the next near-term month. So inside of here will shift a little bit. So we're going to basically want to look and see how things look on Monday, just to kind of get a better feel. So as of right now, the market's certainly positioned for a stronger bull side and a weaker bear side. It's likely, the sentiment's likely not to change from one day to the next of all that risk. But you can see how, like, leading into, you see how things are getting a little interesting. Oops. Like SPY looks a little different. Like monthly expiration, just always a big shit show. And so we'll see SPY again, bull side strengthening, more volatile around FOMC, same thing, bear side weakening, just like yesterday. See how it's a little bit different though. As you get close to monthly, you'll see that this particular day, there's a very big shift compared to what we saw yesterday. There's all this little artifacts here. These are people, these are options expiring, and these could have been, like, where's all those bear positions in here? Where'd they all go? Well, they could have been part of a credit spread that expired, or a calendar spread, or diagonal spread that, you know, one side of it expires today and the other side expires then legs closed out. So we're gonna wake up Monday and have a whole different setup. So just keep in mind. So I want to see what the next 2 weeks look like starting on Monday, and then I'll still be confident on my bullish sentiment here. Russell's just very, very much deteriorating here today as well on the intraday. BSU, just be aware here that they have the bull zone bottom, UVXY, yellow light potential. So if we do rally on the S&P, when UVXY touches here, there's gonna be volatility introduction at the top. So it's not gonna be a sharp, clean rally. A pop is likely to drop. A pop will bring this to here, will create volatility. It can drop pretty quick, just like we saw yesterday. So just be aware. We likely probably close around this 42.20 level as well. So like again, trading in the middle is kind of blah. Up will probably come down, down will probably come up. Jay, the calls outweigh the puts. On what time frame? If you guys haven't checked out the Rocket Scooter platform, I invite you to go to the description below. Actually, I'll type it here. I'm also the fastest typer on the planet. I'll take anyone in a typing contest. Let's go. People say that my typing sounds like a machine gun. On my monthly outlook, calls outweigh the puts. Now, what it means, it's the shape from like day to day. If people are willing to be bulls at a lower spot as the day progresses, or the week progresses, then the bulls are stronger. It's where the bottom of the bull zone is and the top of the bear zone is as you draw a line connecting them all together. Yeah, that's what monthly maps do, Keith. So if you click that link below, everybody, or that link in the chat, it will connect you to our special deal that we're having, limited time, called Extended Trial. We're getting a certain amount of people sign up for that, then we're probably going to change that. It makes our $200 package $35 a month. $35, so you can just try it out, hang out for 3 months at $35. You can learn everything we teach. You get access to the platform, covers your data feeds, and also be part of the group whenever we do get all the live trading stuff turned on. That'd be a great time to be here, just to go through. You can be like, I was first, I was there when they did it. You type 111, Key Tony, come on, bring it, let's go. We should do one of those. Don't they have websites where you can see how fast you can type? And then we can have a rocket scooter contest and see who the fastest typer is. Let's go. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not the fastest typer in the world. I'm probably second fastest underneath Tony. Lazy boring Friday. Okay. You guys might also see in the tutorial section, yesterday's video is going to be here in monthly map. So each of these are like tutorials on each one of the tools, just a basic tutorial outside of the actual boot camp. So this is like training you on trading using the tools. This is how each of the tools just basically works. So yesterday's monthly map class is going to be here, and we're added little graphics to them as well. So liquidity map, monthly map scanner, how to use each tool. We're going to have a video series on that. So feel free to go check that out. I type 376 words per minute. That's right. That's right. Let's find an online one. Oh, that's cool. Mavis beacon hard mode. Oh, I gotta remember those. That's funny. 111 words per minute is pretty damn fast though. You gotta go head to head using typewriters. I probably type close to 100 if I were to take a guess. 100 and something. Fast, but I'm not the fastest in the world. I was just being funny. But I use my keyboard's very clicky so people can hear it. Companies had prizes for like tickets to Six Flags a long time ago. People would type the fastest accurately on their flip phone. Oh gosh, remember typing on your flip phones? You had to hit the number key like 3 times to get the Y and 2 times to get the B. Oh, those were the days. Wonder what everybody's up to today. I haven't been on Twitter. I haven't been doing anything. Snooze fast. Okay, now Rat's starting to looking pretty good here. Is an upper target on SPY. I wonder why mine's not showing up. I literally drew it. Odd. Well, texting a pager back in the day, when you hold your pager upside down. And then the letters. Or like when you used to write messages to each other with your calculator. And turn your calculator upside down. Every 8-year-old in the world spelled out boobies on a calculator to show their friend when you were in 2nd grade. Remember like the single line of text on your calculators? and at 25 years old again when you're in college. Oh yeah, we used to have all kind of like pager codes. Everybody here is like, what's a pager, right? Imagine just a little thing that clips onto your belt, a little plastic thing. It was 1 line of text and it was LCD screen. Kind of like a solar calculator, like a basic calculator. It's like 1 line of LCD text. And that's all you could receive. And then you'd have to page somebody. You'd call the pager number. It asks, some of them you just call and it would beep their box. We go beep, 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 beep. And you'd look down and be like, oh, this person's trying to page me. I better call them back. Then they got like advanced. And then you could send a message to a pager. You could type in something and send it to them. And then that got fancy. Paging your friends, trying to get right at parties in high school. Dr. Peeper from Caddyshack. Pagers were a thing like in the 80s and early 90s, but then they like resurfaced. There was a time like pagers were just seen as like just like cell phones. There were cell phones in the 80s. You had those big giant Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell box phones that weighed like 5 pounds, those giant bricks you'd hold up to your face. But then they like kind of went away. But then in our generation, I graduated in 2000 in high school, right? So in the late 90s, pagers and cell phones started coming back, and they were cool. Like they were marketed to kids. So like I remember being 15, 16 years old with the pager. And the pagers came in like neon colors, like the old iMacs back in the day. So like, I think I had like a bright blue pager. At first, yeah, you're either a doctor or a drug dealer that had pagers pretty much. Well, actually, when I worked at the plant, we had pagers. So pagers were like seen as intrinsically safe devices. So you weren't allowed to take a cell phone into explosive areas of a chemical plant as well. When I used to work there, they were very, very particular that you couldn't take your phone out there. I don't know what it's like these days if phones are better, but pagers were considered intrinsically safe devices. So like no risk of causing a spark or a fire. Probably because they had small batteries instead of a large battery pack like a phone would have. So you also worked at the plant, you had a pager. And that was like always had to carry with me, which is stupid because you had to have your pager. So this was like in 2008, this was the year of the Motorola Razr and the iPhone 1. The Razrs were going out and iPhones are coming in. And I still had to have a pager everywhere I went, everywhere, and I get paged all the time. At the movies, page you. Oh, by the way, you know, we need you to answer this question for us real quick. Something's going on over here. Something's going on over there. All right, let me remote into the computer. Oh, yep. All right, go close that valve. Okay, I'm gonna go back and finish watching my movie now. See you later. So I carried a pager with me everywhere. You remember your teacher pulling up a naked woman on his Texas Instruments graphic calc on the projector? Oh, like drawn with like basically pixels on the calc. And then when you get the math questions right, they would reveal more of the woman. Oh, that's hilarious. You grew up in the 80s, you had a pigeon and a brick. There you go. That's a way to do it. And teachers used to have so much more fun with their jobs, I think, in the 80s and 90s. We had a psychology teacher in high school who would do every topic, every chapter, whatever the focus was. He'd do experiments on the kids. Now, that sounds really bad, but it wasn't actually really bad. It was a rite of passage. You like wanted him to pick on you. Like when you get the Sigmund Freud chapter of like free association, you know, when you lay down on the couch and then they ask you questions, like say the first word that comes to mind, blah blah blah, and then you would say something. And he used to like, and it was for AP psychology, so it was all the smartest kids in the class, so they liked the unique experience. And so he would pick on everybody. Like in the free association, you got one of the girls lay down there on the, they put some desks, some chairs together to pretend to be like a psychology couch, and then, you know, dim the lights and all the students are watching, and then he's just sitting there like a psychologist, like asking the questions like, so, you know, what's the first word that comes to mind when I say this? And the person would say that. And then I remember one of the girls up there, he was like, so mentioning all kinds of words. It was like, hey, up, and then down, she says something. It says cold, she says ice. He goes hot, she goes Matt, and he goes, and all the class goes, what? And then the girl goes, oh my gosh. And he goes, oh yeah. So apparently some girl had a crush on me. And when he said hot, she said Matt. So like you basically Freudian, you spit out the first word that comes to mind. He's like, see, no offense. He's like, Matt's a good looking guy. But you know, like, but basically I just had like so much fun in that class. And then as the girl was like blushing really big, and he's like, you know what, that's you know, so I was like, Matt, you should probably ask her out on a date. You know, and my girlfriend was also in that class, and she's like blushing, and it's just kind of like, it was really fun. But you know, like these days somebody would complain, and then that teacher would probably get fired. Like, you hurt my feelings. You know what I mean? We had a sensory deprivation experiment that we did where like I sat in I always volunteered. I always wanted to do it. I loved it. So like we sat in the hallway. There's a closet, and we went in this, me and 2 other folks, and there's actually a picture in the yearbook of us doing it. We sat in the closet with earplugs in and with ping pong balls taped over our eyes, so you couldn't hear, you couldn't see, and then they made a maze of desks in the hallway of the school. And so the idea was your sense of touch completely deteriorates if you immediately lose your other senses. So you were so disoriented. Like the maze was so simple. Like it was just maybe 2 curves and you'd get out. But we couldn't hear anything, couldn't see anything. But he replayed the video of all of us doing it afterwards. And essentially you're like walking in circles the minute you get into the maze. Like he walks you over. He says, I'm going to have you do a maze. I'm going to bring you guys out of here. And then so we sat in there for like maybe 20 minutes or something, or 10 minutes, I remember. And then we go out in the hallway, and literally your sense of direction, everything, all your senses just go away. So none of us could figure out this very basic maze. And the point was, when he showed it to you, it was like, oh my God, this is so simple. What was I doing? He's like, oh yeah, you were just walking in circles, like spinning around. You had no idea where you were. So like fun stuff like that, man. That's what I remember. And I, like in my 40s, still remember that. Like I still remember that experience, like being challenged and actually learning something. It sticks with you. These days, somebody would stub their toe and sue the school, and it'd be on the news. For sure. That's my favorite. That's my favorite class I think I ever had. And I had another class, my freshman high school physical science class. Teacher was like Bill Nye, but better. Wore a bow tie, always wearing a lab coat, had glasses, real geeky, hair is always messed up. Just looked like that mad scientist kind of look. He was awesome. He's always doing experiments, like, you know, class lines up against the back of the wall. There's a chunk of cesium in water, and it explodes in the middle of the class. Like, always fun. Always fun stuff. Okay, Powell's going to be talking in 18 minutes. Just chilling, waiting for that to happen. Nothing, no real reason to do anything. Resiliences are now negative. We're at the top of the redistribution zone. It's likely we do maybe trade down and pull back just a little bit today. If I were to take a guess, just the way the Nasdaq looks, this could be one of those days that's very volatile. It does. Every dip is going to be bought, so don't think we're going to collapse. The market's probably going to do this. Like, it's probably going to do this for the whole day. It is trying to pull back. We're not getting a power and res. Now, again, when Powell speaks, it can be a completely different scenario, so we have to watch out for that. What do y'all think? No evidence of that, but interacting with monthly hedge for sure might be on the agenda, even if Powell starts talking. Getting no power and res, DD is strong, but we don't have a bull zone. So how do we act that, right? So normally when DD just means not be in the bear zone. So at the end of the day, it's going to want to fight off of that bear zone for sure. So while we don't have a bull zone to go to, that when we, you know, similar to how you have the DD float against the bottom band, well, you're not going to want to be in that bear zone for long. Being 0.9, right? So the idea that we're collapsing today, off the table. I mean, we're likely supporting here somewhere. So there's going to be upward pressure. Every downside move, if stocks are filling their gap and selling off at expiration, every downside move is going to pop. Just like we've seen like all morning. It's going to do this all day. So I'm pretty convinced of that. So essentially 10-point scalps all day long, probably shorting on the way down. would probably be the best way to trade this. And again, I don't want to take any choppy shorts on expiration day. Again, I'm babysitting this ETF account till I get the setup I want. Nothing yet. I know it seems like just waiting a while, but being patient is what pays off. You have to be careful. I'm going to make some water. I'll be right back. Y'all hang tight. All right, I'm back. Russell's just deteriorating a little bit. I think we might get some selling into. I think so. I don't know. It might get worse. Again, Powell talking will be a nice little bit of a catalyst, but Russell deteriorating. Hedge is the next thing loose. Keep your eyes on hedge today. The S&P is just not getting any power. Like I said, it's still bullish enough, but not having a bull zone to trade in. You know, things are looking a little bleak, I'd say. Probably just seems very logical to have a relaxed day. We've had, what, green days, like 4, 5, 6 days in a row. Today might just be that one day that sells. Right. Have to leave in an hour and a half today. So we'll have a quick. Oh, here we go. Something's going on. A little volume here. But I guess like a quick couple of minutes into the Powell speech, and then I'm gonna have to get out of here. Anybody call me Matty Ice? He used to call me, some guys in the Discord used to always call me Iceman, but not Matty Ice. Nobody has ever said that. It is in the Discord under platform tutorials. On the left side, it's been called RS tutorials. A little volume here, lifting price a little bit. So you got hedge pressure coming up on Q. Let's keep an eyeball on that as well. If Q moves below hedge pressure, you really don't have anything underneath it. There's a bull side support again. I mean, bear side rejection again. Now look, let's talk about this. This is very important. This is where the yellow resilience comes into play. The times when you are in a very strong bull market or bear market, you're going to trade off of monthly hedge pressure a lot. When you get close to expiration, monthly hedge pressure does move closer to price. Monthly hedge resilience, these yellow resiliences are used at this point to break the tie. QQQ hits this, its monthly hedge pressure resilience is negative as well. So it means that the chance of QQ supporting with bullish hedging when the market cap is breaking through their own hedge pressure is very low. So this is what monthly resilience is for. It's an aggregate of what stocks are doing across monthly hedge pressure. It's the same, similar aggregate to what resilience does across the half cap. Same kind of concept. The stocks are losing momentum and rejecting monthly hedge pressure, as you see below. 23% of the market cap shift bear side, or 23%, but 23. Actually, well, maybe 12 and 12.8%. So it's a scale of negative 100 to positive 100. So you divide that, since a scale of 200 total, it's actually divide that by 2. So 12.8% of the market cap outweighing to the downside versus the upside. And that's a tiebreaker when you are at the yellow. That's what you see. So if I were to bounce off a monthly hedge pressure, that resilience would indicate there's not a strong bounce potential there. Everybody, do me a favor. I'll go down there and click the like button. Add some impressions to our... or add some engagement. Give us more impressions. Help us out. Y'all like this free YouTube show? Make sure you do that every day. Do it every day. Put a note on your monitor and be like, let's help the Rocket Scooter folks out. Pages remind you of Dwight Schrute from The Office. So yeah, he did have a page. Didn't he have like 2 pagers? Resilience is starting to deteriorate pretty hard. Yeah, 5 minutes till the 5 minutes until the good stuff happens. So I'll try to stay here until about 10:30 my time, so 30 minutes, and then I gotta go. Oh. Gotta go to the eye doctor and get me a new pair of glasses. I'm on the phone with him right now. All right, let's see what we got. Resilience trying to rescue itself a little bit. All right, that's looking pretty decent. Let's see if we get there. Let's get our news aggregator up here. Front and center. Let's see what we got going on here. On the right time here. Yep, that is the right time. Good deal. All right. See if Papa's gonna say anything good. Get your financial juice out, everybody. If you guys want to check out, see if they have anything going on, they'll show up there. Res is starting to pull out of the hole, so that's a good sign. Everything started moving up. More stocks kind of saving themselves, which looks pretty okay. More upside to this, I think. All right, oh, there's that rejection at 0. Did some quick calculations here. I'm going to run these. I need to do some impact. I didn't do the one yesterday on NASDAQ. Get that together real quick. I'm excited to have automated red and yellow lines. Like that's probably one of the biggest things. To have some automation on that, that'd be really, really hot. That part I'm excited about. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Imagine never having to do this calculation ever again manually. That'd be awesome. All right, get some red candle action coming on here. Market's moving a little bit. Make sure you have your news aggregator front and center so you can pay attention to what's going on. That run linked red line right there. That is a hot spot. The pullback, let's double check the one in S&P. I'm just going to estimate and come back and check this. Go back here. All right. I always just draw it so I can actually have the marker. You go back and do the actual measurement. Let's go all the way back. Yeah, too much has happened. Let's go to 233 then. I Maker Sum only shows you so much on a tick chart. So many days. Actually, not even days. They only go 5 days back, but they actually go only a certain amount of candles back total. So sometimes you don't even get the full 5. It's right there. Good deal. Oh, that's at the bottom. Okay. The bottom of the run. That's a pretty substantial. That right now, market's trying really hard to support off of yesterday's highs for sure. Trying to float these 420, 421 calls. Keep them in the money. Burning out a lot of that put theta all morning. Res just dropped a little bit below 0. Keep that in mind. Go back and grab one of my line boxes here. So these are measuring breakout targets for the longer term swing. This is one of the best strategies you will learn here. Always do your homework whenever the market's not live, especially you can go back and do this. It's good to do this while the market's live so you don't lose the data. So I'm just dragging these boxes over. You get runs on the S&P. Off of these breakouts. Marking it there. Right there. Oops, don't do that. Right there. Okay. And now we have a nice, fresh, clean yellow line. Ready breakout run. So do you guys want to see how cool yellow lines are? We always talk about them. You can forecast them months in advance. See this day right here? Runs all the way up to this pivot. Forecasting breakout highs. Yellow lines, exactly what they do. Forecasting breakout highs. That is, if I were swinging this, that's the end of my swing trade off of this rally up from all the way back here. It sits there forever until it's touched. I mean, it's always there. Until that red line is beaten. There we go. How cool that is, right? So this is the old major yellow line. We are currently in the June contract. Let's relabel that. So you do your homework correctly, you've got these really beautiful longer term swing pivots, right? And this is one, like I said, everything we do here forecasts and predicts volume and pivots. This is breakout volume. Yellow lines work at all-time highs, all-time lows. Like, look at this breakout high. I calculated on this day a line that sat there, and that is our resistance today. That's one of the major techniques that we do teach inside of our Discord. Let's come back to here. Just a little information about that. We hit that half gap resilience. Is great lessons here. Let's go back a little bit further than that. Let's go down to our handbook, the Discord. Let me show you a few things here. You may say, what are these yellow lines? You may say, we always talk about, you know, liquidity map, the big three. And let's liquidity map, resilience, DD. This is your big three pivot to, you know, basic entry rules, right? Yesterday, we talked about interaction with this triple B. We have these other illiquidity pivots is what they're called. That's number here, number 11. They're very important. They outrank resilience. They outrank liquidity map. Single large positions. The market is illiquid, which means a one-sided move. Irrational creates illiquidity. Great irrational pivots. So the idea is if you have your DD bands, right? Normally you're trading inside a DD band. DD band is your exit. Anytime you break out and the market's just like free rallying, where does it go? Well, illiquid breakouts or gamma squeezes, delta squeezes, whatever. Yellow lines and red lines are great final destinations of breakout plays. So they are pivots that settle a trade that started a long time ago. And as you see, 42.21 is a very strong yellow line pivot. There's such great techniques. One of the first things we created here. What time frame is that chart? I don't understand the question, Zach. On here, this is a 1 minute chart on SPY. The S&P one that I was showing on Thinkorswim, I'm just using an hour chart. It doesn't matter what time frame you pick. The time frame is just to get a lot of data on the chart. And these are just reference points. Like, I'm not trading with this, but every single time one of these yellow lines is still open, I leave them there. They're always pivots. They're always pivots off of big moves. And you can see right here, I'll just show you how it works. So right here, we create this thing called an impact line. Creates an illiquid move to the upside. We use the risk interval, or a function of the risk interval calc to calculate some things. And we also use a similar calc, but it's exploiting a different thing to calculate the yellow lines. And so you see how the market just runs up to touch the yellow line outside of the DD band. Does everybody see that? It's calculated weeks ahead of that. Ooh, look at that beautiful move. Res is nasty. So we all see that right here. Just know that on this Monday, I calculated this level, right? The market was right there, and go, yep, that's the breakout high. Keep going. And so it just sits there and sits there and sits there. And as the market continues to rally, anytime you hit a yellow line, there's always resistance. And look, anytime you break out, everybody see this really quick. Outside of DD bands, what's your target? Say that you trade it to here, and then you're going to take a second trade on the breakout play. Where do you break out to? You break out right to there. It's a great understanding of illiquid pivots. This is balancing a trade that took place a long time ago. Everybody longed to the market shorted, and now the market's upside down, and this is a level that the bull run goes to. Do y'all see that? So any breakout outside of a DD band in a single day, yellow line is your target. Now, dash means came from the top side. Solid means came from the bottom. So the anchor point is above. So an example is the market is trading down in the recession. This impact run length creates a yellow line there. So the downside move catches that, right? This time created one here, and even in volatile markets, I mean, they can take place a couple days later. Look at this. This day I calculated the same thing. Our Discord bot gives you the length of that box and we teach you in the courses. Like I said, $35 to the courses. You guys sign up for them. You'll learn all of these techniques for practically nothing price. Did I share my chart for RS members? No. No, y'all need to do it yourself. You know, I love you, Benji, but I got way too many things going on. I can't. Maybe I can do like a one-time share to give you all the history of these numbers. Sure. But like in real time, y'all should update them on your own. Maybe I should give you guys all. I know I've posted it before, but as far as updating it goes, I just rather we're trying to get automated, so then we have to do it for all of us. But y'all see right here? I mean, look at how clean that was. It's never not a pivot. Doesn't mean it reverses, but there's always a pivot. Like if I were shorting outside the DD band, same thing. Boom. Yellow line. That's the target. That's the trick. A trade is so prominent. It's so good at what it does. Outside of DD band right here, this guy created one, and then 3 days later, boom, there's the pivot, right? You see it. Now I'm not trading beyond it, but again, outside DD band, short, 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 exactly at the bottom of the box. See right here? So you're forecasting ahead of time, just like everything else. Yeah, futures index crew. I think it's in the red, yellow lines. Oh, it is. I did put it in there at one point, as Andrea said. But as far as like when I draw them every day, like there's folks that are really good at, like Muhammad, he goes in there and updates them all the time. I notice it when he does it. Back when I used to draw the dynamics on the chart before we had the bot. Oh, I love how we've evolved. Okay. Y'all see here? You just can't not see it. Every time you touch where now again, when the impact goes away, I delete the yellow line. So that's the rule. And you see that this rule right here, there's the pivot. That was a holiday, I guess. Here's the pivot right here. Outside of DD band, boom, runs right up to it. So the illiquid trades, those are the pivots, and you can see them all the time. I mean, they're great. Now, when you break through these impact lines, these yellow lines go away, but they're there forever as long as you have them. Here's another example of this one. You create a downward move, we measure it right there, and exactly where that is the pivot. I mean, you can't unsee it once you see it. It's pretty good what it does. Outside DD band, there's the pivot. I trade to the pivot and call it a day. Buyers and sellers find each other, that's it. There's a whole process we're exploiting there, but over and over and over and over again. So now that we're consolidating, as you see, it's very messy because we're in this consolidated range we've been in for a long time, right? So the idea is that we have all of them here, and they're all so good at what they do. Again, breakout highs and targets. So here's this one from this day. This day has one, we walked right up to it. This day has one, we walked right up to it, and that's it. There's always resistance there. I don't call it reversal, but there's always resistance, right? We have actually 2 of them that were created, and today we create another one. The market continues to go higher. The upsides are there. It's like, just keep a history of them. I can reference them every day. Not that I care about looking at the chart like this. I never am looking at the chart. This was a demonstration on that day, and I seem to delete these and make them. Clean up this a little bit. So whenever you have, you're on like a normal chart like this, I always say, oh, I got one, we're intercepting one. And you can't argue with what you just saw. What's been that pivot all day today? It's something that's happening inside of your liquidity map, something that's happening in futures. Can you see how sharp those pivots are? It's just really nice. And the idea is that this isn't based on like yesterday's data. This is forecast a month ago. This is the high forecast, or actually 2 months ago. This was the high, my high target. When people are asking me, where's this rally going to 2 days ago when it broke out, I said 42.21. Everybody's like, let's go to the 4,200 psychological level. And I go, nope, let's go to 4221.75. Round to the nearest tick. And that's it. That's your pivot. I mean, you can go here and go to a tick chart. How often do you update the yellow bands? I don't understand what you mean by yellow band. Anytime there's an impact red line that's created off of a move, every impact creates a yellow line. Every move that runs, and by the rule that we teach you in that class. Okay, here we go. Look, you're getting a monthly hedge pressure, and look what you have. Monthly hedge resilience is slightly negative on the S&P. It's trying to hold. It's likely not to hold. Now you got 2 forces fighting right here. You've got resilience pushing us to the downside. That was easy to see. You have the bear side being mean reversion is going to be support, just like you normally think, not pushing the bear side towards a bull zone. We don't have one, but this is kind of a neat way to see this. Let me go here really quick. So res less than 0, the pivot down to there. Remember, I don't think anybody long or do anything today. I didn't take the long. Easy to see that it wasn't getting any strength. Res less than 0 pushes to here. MRes, be careful on MRes, right? If MRes, we are irrational. We need it less than 10 to really believe it. They're both kind of hovering 0, so it's still not bearish enough to break through monthly hedge pressure. We're still okay. Another thing is DD is positive, and you know that if we had a hypothetical, like, okay, I'm gonna draw a bull zone. We have hypothetical bull zone. It's actually at infinity. There isn't one. So anytime you have bull and bear zone in your mean reversion, you push towards the middle. So you push away from the bear zone towards the bull zone when DD is bullish. So bear zone is going to be support in any mean reversion, as you know. That's a normal mean reversion trade. So that bear zone will be support because DD is looking good. As you see, exactly what we said. We might follow the MHP, and there's probably an entry point. So Jerome Powell is also talking, so there's likely an event going on. So a catalyst, be very careful. I wouldn't overtrade today. Let's bring the news front and center. So anytime, like I said, go watch in the Discord every single technique that I do, is a very detailed video on how it works. You should never have to ask me anything until you watch that video and you need clarification. Interest rate futures traders slash bets on a June Fed rate hike that they go flat in June. I think they go flat in June as well. I said they go flat in April back in October when I made that prediction. So we're overdue for going flat. No rate hikes. I think we should stall it at 0 rate hike and stay at 4.5. That's just my opinion though. Yep. Like I said, $35 a month. You guys can join the Rocket Scooter family. I got to get out of here in about 5 minutes. You can learn all these techniques. Like I said, the YouTube stream is free. 35 bucks. Support the group. Get your data feeds. Get your platform. You can go through the classes on how to do all these manual calcs too. You'll learn them all as well. There is a channel. I have posted my historic yellow lines in the Discord at some point. Somebody said it. This can be done on the charting software. There's no proprietary scripts going on Thinkorswim. No, it's all manual. The proprietary script of how to do this is something that that we need to create for Rocket Scooter. It'll be something internal. Like I said, it's a very cool process. Okay. But undeniably, you can see that you just see the pivoting action off of here. How does a position from 2 months ago create pivoting action here? What's going on there? It's a really cool thing that we're exploiting. But I mean, I can pick you any single time we've had these. Let me show them cool. Even I don't know if we have the market top anymore because it's been so much time. Damn it, yeah, time has passed. But even the top of the market pivoted off of yellow, so Thinkorswim doesn't let you go any further back. It's lost to history. But I have pictures of the old ones. Let me show you 360 days on a Oh, I still have them on the daily chart though. Here, like this day on the bull side, pivot right here. You see that? The breakout pivot touches the yellow, and then there's your reversal. This day, it's hard to see because you have the candle to see the pivot, but you can see the effect, at least. I've been keeping history of these things on this Thinkorswim account since 2021, but we've had this technique since what, 2017? I used to take my own picture of the I used to manually draw the overnights for y'all. So yep, like I said, all these lines and levels should be in the Discord somewhere. So always make sure you have them. They're very substantial. Even this downside one from that's many months old has been the pivot we've been fighting at for the longest time. This 4140. I mean, I know how when we got to 4140 in the middle of it, people are like, oh, look, 4140. That's a... Oh, 4140. That's a consolidation zone. Market loves that level. I'm like, yeah, we've had 4140 sitting on the charts for I don't know how many months. We're consolidated there. Like, this is April, and people are saying, man, just loves that 4140. And when was it created, right? That pivot. Look at this. This 4140 level was created in April of 2022, a year ago. A year ago, this exact move created this 4140 that we've loved for so long. So, like, we're a year ahead of a certain level that the market just loved to consolidate at. Even years later, I mean, even a year later, there's still an effect at that level residual from that exact year prior yellow line. Is breaking MHP a signal of sentiment change, even if HP is below? Yeah, anytime you break through monthly hedge pressure, it's a sign of a position flip or capitulation. Being that those options expire today, that monthly hedge pressure is based on just the next monthly option. So that's only today's option. Breaking it today would be devastating. Breaking it in the close. It shouldn't break, and if it does, it's going to break bad, because anytime you have MHP break, when you're down, when there's a D, the break is violent. Violent on top of violent. Violent on top of violent. If you break MHP when liquidity map is D, market's gonna, I'm trying to find something that rhymes with D. It's gonna fall fast, fast, fast. Thank you for the lesson on the online scaffolds. Yeah, no problem. So the idea is that 4140 level was created from an extension. It's not extension like the traditional definition of what an extension is. An extension from or projection, that's the word I should use. A projection from an event. And so it was such a substantial event, it pivoted the market down, and we had that 4140 line 13 months ago. So again, breaking MHP when market is D, not a good sign for you and me. Waka waka waka. Yeah, don't get caught up in this, y'all. Don't get caught in this. Don't get caught. This is not a time to play hero. Don't get caught in this. Things can get really bad really fast. Now again, make sure DD doesn't deteriorate. Keep an eyeball on this right here to the right. But still, the expiration is bad deal. There's a Powell's talking. There's a cat, possibly. Downgrade June hike odds after debt limit talks stall. We already talked about this. So basically, Powell's saying the same stuff. Inflation may be more responsive to changes in the jobs market. Who's been saying that for 2 years now? Who's been saying inflation directly related to the labor market? Who pulls up these charts that put everyone to sleep every morning? Yeah. More responsive to changes in the jobs market. Why? Because people that got fired are not getting their jobs back. This is the quarter where unemployed folks are continuously unemployed month after month after month and not easily getting their jobs back, which means wages are about to plunge as desperate folks inch towards default. They'll take any job they can get. Shit, I need a job. I was a software programmer and I've been out of work for 3 months. Fuck it. I'm going to get that job at Domino's and deliver pizzas until I can get afloat. You're going to have people are at that stage now. And so wages are going to plunge as the labor market is saturated with unemployed folks that are competent and can work. Monthly hedge breaks when market is D is not good. That is momentum on top of momentum, especially on expiring day, especially with Powell talking. This can be a really bad day. All hedge pressure breaks are there. Let me let everyone in the Discord know how dangerous this is. Bad news. We all know this. Well, the hedge break in markets D ain't no good for you and me. Okay. Questions? Comments? Yellow line rejection. I mean, like I said, yellow line is just an extension of risk or a position that took place long time ago. Take a look. Any questions about that? We'll see you guys. Y'all need to come over to the Discord. Check out the Rocket Scooter program if you want. Like I said, you're going to get a deep dive in how to do all these things yourself. I love it. Irrational breaks now. Down, down, down. I just love how these things are just doing what they're supposed to be doing. These lights are beautiful. Beautiful. All right, let's talk about my... All right, we have a release coming out tonight on the test server. This has nothing to do with y'all's experience. This has to do with the onboarding process and pop-ups and other deals and things. By the way, if you guys get those pop-up deals, remember, they are for life. Whatever monthly rate you get in any deal that Rocket Scooter pop-up, it will be on the top of your platform right now. You should be able to see it. That rate locks in forever. All the stuff that we have is yours forever. Even if we upgrade or change prices, price will never change as well. It's a big deal to get a grandfather rate. So we invite everybody to take it. Check it out. You know, support the group. Like I said, even if you're like me, I'm not trading as much. Even being part of the team, you're supporting development of such a cool project and platform. You can always say, you know, you helped and you were part of it and you're part of the team that made it. Fast forward 5 years, where we'll be the name brand of trading platforms. I mean, achieving 4,000 user accounts in our first year beat my expectations by 3,000. That's one of my partners. I'd be like, I'd be happy if we signed up 1,000 people in the first year. And they were like, Matt, you don't understand how big this is going to get. You're always too conservative. You always under promise and over deliver. They were like, well, you probably will have 5,000 or 10,000 by the first year. I was like, that's ridiculous. There's no way. We're in a recession. And y'all proved me wrong. So I appreciate and love every single one of you guys. 4,000 new faces. It's just crazy. So thanks for supporting the group. Clearly, you know, you're also helping the team. We're hiring people, supporting jobs, supporting families, you know, other things. It's pretty cool. Just supporting the group, supporting development as we make better and bigger things for everybody to enjoy. I can't thank you enough. Love you all to death. Rock Scooter fam, here forever. But literally, do the extended trial so at least you can learn the yellow line stuff because it's great. It is great. It's one of the best, oldest techniques we had. It's one of the better things to learn. Markets are illiquid and crazy. You need to have some kind of guidance. What happens when you break hedge pressure? What happens when you break DD bands? What happens when markets go irrational? Irrational markets become illiquid. Illiquidity pivots are where you look for answers. Yellow lines and red lines, greatest tools when markets are crazy, illiquid, in irrational mode. Irrational mode has a little bit of a different style of trading. Normally I sit out, trade small. Got to have targets somewhere. Those are great targets. Listen, 41.40. Yeah, we're a year ahead of everyone else. Everybody talking about it now. We talking about it 2 Aprils ago. It's great. So thank you for joining Rocket Scooter. We love you guys. Sign up for the extended trial, $35 a month, and that includes your data feeds, which basically makes the platform pretty much free for you, the entire experience. Stop paying for crummy discords. Stop paying for technical analysis, basic stuff that you can get for free. Or something new. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in.